Hey guys, so for those of you that's been following us on Facebook for a while, obviously you know Maddie's homeschooled, and one of the things we try to do as part of her homeschool is teach her things that she would not normally learn in school, like survival skills, just basic things that every person needs to know that, unless you have parents who really are enthusiastic about these kind of things, they may not learn. So obviously one of the things we're trying to do is teach her how to hunt without having to have a firearm. Now Maddie loves to hunt with me. She has a bow and arrow, actually a compound bow that we're working on now that she's just gotten big enough to be able to shoot. But what I'm trying to show her here is that you don't have to have a firearm to be able to hunt. And so what we've created here, and she'll tell you a little bit more about it, is a basic snare trap. It's a very small one. This is something you would use to trap a rabbit, a squirrel, something small. But she's going to show you the basic components and kind of the description of what we've recreated, and then she's going to show you how it works. So go ahead, show them how it works.
Okay, so how it works is we put this right here on two sticks.
And that's just to support the snare.
Yeah, because if we didn't, it would just be laying right here on the floor. No animal is just going to walk through the hole and just get caught. It will just step right through it.
Well, and also this type of snare is called a passive snare. That means the animal has to run through it to trigger it. What we would have to do if we wanted to set the snare on the ground would be a pressure snare, which is where the animal, as it steps on the snare, it would trigger a response that would pull a string or something that would also use the power of whatever instrument they're using, a tree, a bended branch, or whatever. So this is a passive snare. And as you can see, one thing I forgot to show you is it's attached to this heavy limb up here. That limb's bent over quite a bit, so that that's your actual engine that powers it, your force. Okay, baby.
Okay, finally. So, I have gotten a short stick to demonstrate and to put that back on there. So when it comes through here, it just goes right. If it walks, it will just go right through it. It won't get caught. And if I was demonstrating it with my hand, it will get caught. So that's why I'm using a stick. Right here, it is where it is jointed to make it latch on to this stick.
And we had to carve that with a knife.
Yeah. I tried to carve one with my knife. I have it right here.
She did real good. She just, unfortunately...
There was two mistakes I made. One, there was actually three I made. I got the wrong stick, which was waterlogged so much it was black inside. So I picked another stick. It had ants, about like 100 ants living in it probably.
Trying to stay warm.
Yeah, I found only 2 ants, but I guarantee there was probably a lot, like I always am. And the third thing I did wrong was right here where you carved out the little circle spot.
The notch.
The notch. Well, I made it too thin and it broke off. That part right there.
It's okay. Daddy broke one too. You could do this with mechanical power tools and make it a lot better, but I wanted her to see how you could do it if you really had no power and you had no opportunity to have modern tools.
Like in a lawn, you can't bring that. You can only bring like an axe, a shovel, or a pickaxe, some string. If you have ever seen that, you should definitely check it out. But don't pick the last season. It is a lot of money. But right here, I'm going to be showing you how it actually works. So I made a game tutorial here to demonstrate more. So this is a deal. My hand is, and I go through here.
There you go. And there it is. She's trapped.
That's what it is.
So basically what would happen is the animal would be held up there. It would either, as gruesome as this sounds, it would either strangle the animal or the animal would be held up in suspension where it couldn't get away.
It would probably strangle it because look how small it made it.
Yeah, I mean the noose would slip around hopefully what would be the neck. So as the animal goes through it, it would trigger around the neck area first. But in the past I've seen some of these where they'll catch the animal in the middle of the belly, for instance. But You can see here here's the notch that we had to carve into the wood, and that carves into, or there's another carving here, and what that does is it latches in. And then there's another carving up here. This is more like a notch, and there's one down here. And basically what that does, that's what holds the rope from being able to swing away. So anyway, we're going to keep working. We just thought we'd share that with you. I'm proud of her. She's definitely learning some new activities.
The only thing I really need to learn now is not to talk so much in video.
All right, see you guys. Bye-bye.